So I'm actually a pretty gullible guy. Probably can't tell by looking at me, but I believe and trust pretty much anything anybody tells me. Like, this is how gullible I am. Like, I'll be in the bathroom and I'll see some shit written on the walls and it'll be like, hey, call this number for a blowjob. And like in my head, I'm like, there's a good chance that's a hot chick, right? Like the odds, you know, it's not. It's never, it's a guy named Tristan, okay? I never got his last name, but it's a guy named Tristan, that's all I needed to know. But I'm married, been married for 6 years now. Is there a Tristan out there? So I'm actually from Fruitville. I don't know if you know Fruitville. It's a town of like 3,000 people. You know, like half the population is legally named Bubba. Like men and women, you know. I feel like if your parents name you Bubba, they're not expecting much from you. You know, maybe like a few DUIs, a few 9/11 conspiracy theories. But I've never had anybody named Bubba like ever really tell me anything worth knowing. They've never been like, hey, here's what you want to know about Roth IRA. You know, I have had a guy named Bubba send me a picture of a he took, and that's probably about as good as it gets. So, but no, we've been married for 6 years. We've gotten to that point in our relationship where we have like cute pet names for each other. You know, like I'll call her Pookie Bear. She calls me On the Spectrum. So it's great. Marriage is going great. But I don't think she really married me for anything physically. You know, I think emotionally I'm there for her. I think spiritually, you know, all the ways that you need to be there for a wife. But I don't think physically I'm checking any of those boxes, you know. I've seen her porn searches. And there's nothing on there that says 5'7" white guy bangs chick for a minute and a half. So I don't think physically that's what I'm in for, you know. But she's seen my searches too, so it's kind of, I get it, you know. Nothing on my searches says chick fakes orgasm and cries herself to sleep, so. My defense, my dad did not give me the sex talk until I was 17 years old. He's like, Dad, I've been having sex for 6 years, okay? 5 of those consensual, all right? You know Uncle Danny, right, Dad? But the only time he talked to me about sex before that was when I was actually 12 or 13 years old. And he Pentecostal pastor, remember that, Pentecostal pastor, he set me down and, Michael, come in here, son. Sit down. Did you know when you're in your alone time and you're sitting there in your room, imagine Jesus Christ is sitting right beside you. Because guess what, kiddo? He is. I've never came so hard in my entire life. It was fantastic. Me and my wife, we've been married for 6 years now. 6 years of marriage. Hell yeah. It's great. What's the secret to a long-lasting marriage, you ask? We cheat on each other repeatedly. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Okay. I cheat on her repeatedly. That's a joke. I don't know. Stop recording. Stop that. But no, we've been married for 6 years. We've got to the point where we have like cute pet names for each other. You know, like I call her Pookie Bear. Pookie Bear. She calls me On the Spectrum. It's very cute, and it probably saved my marriage. We were on the rocks. Here's how on the rocks we were. We went to counseling a couple of years ago for 2-3 weeks. It was going good for her. It was going good. I just sat there quietly, just playing past episodes of like Boy Meets World in my head or some shit. But we went to counseling and we quit going because our counselor pretty much called my wife a right? Yeah, and as a man, I should have taken up for her, but I was like, hun, that's a professional opinion. That is a doctor, all right, diagnosing you. How can I get in the way of that?